Hi Leo, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your money and career reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Fantastic. Let's let the bowl sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Leo. Money and career, Leo. Leo. Money and career, Leo. Leo. Money and career, Leo. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. And show me clearly, angels. And spirit guides, angels. And spirit guides, show me clearly. Ooh, fantastic. There we go. Oh, I love that. The sun just came up and was like, see me. So that's beautiful. All right. So at the bottom here, think of this as like a tree. So at the bottom is its roots, its bark. So we have the Seven of Cups and the sun, which is absolutely a beautiful combination. And then up above, we have the branches, the foliage. So we have the star, which is Aquarius energy, time frame January 20th to February 18th. We have the Four of Pentacles. There we go. And there's a sense here of like having to hold on because we don't believe our dreams are going to come. Like it's been such a hard road. It has been such a hard road. Okay. We have Justice, which is Libra energy, time frame September 23rd to October 22nd. And we have the Knight of Cups, water energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. The Fool, and the Four of Wands. So we're definitely starting a new journey here. It's been a long road coming, and it's bringing justice to our hearts, which is something that's going to feel nice. But we have to really be mindful of this vampiric energy, because the vampiric energy can pull us back, can hold us back, can keep us from where we want to be, from what we desire having within our world. So let's look at the energy. Well, we'll look at that one in a moment. Let's look at our chakra energy first. Leo. Money and career, Leo, Leo. Money and career, Leo. Angels and spirit guides. We have rebirth, and that's what this time is about. It's about, this is the Earth Star chakra. It's about rebirth, it's about regeneration, it's about generational prosperity. There's a sense of breaking the generational bonds. So in the Bible they say, the sins of the father passed on to the son. It's because we are raised, no, we learn as we are raised. So a lot of times we keep on perpetuating old hurts, old pains, old disappointments that have been in our family forever because it's like, this is how we always are, or you can't expect better, or don't you dare, even try. And so here we're going to find ourselves breaking out of a lot of the chains that we were born into. And just as Spirit was having me stop as I spoke, it was like, okay, stop, think, reword, realign, and then let us move forward. Let us see what happens, because that's going to be really important during this time. We're going to think, oh, okay, this way. And Spirit's going to be like, no. just step back just a little bit. Step back, relook, reevaluate. And now let's look at the energy we have to be mindful of during this time. What is the energy that Leo has to be mindful of for money and career? What is the energy that Leo has to be mindful of for money and career? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Ooh, goodness. Okay, the Princess of Cups. Now, whenever the Princess of Cups comes up to be mindful of, or any of the princesses come up to be mindful of, it's always be mindful of somebody who's acting like a princess, who's acting like, I'm entitled to this, I don't have to work for it, this is rightfully mine. And I mean, there's going to be a sense of thinking, okay, I can see where you're coming from. I can see that you think I'm just going to take it. It's kind of like ask for forgiveness later. But there's going to be a real need here to say, why? Why do you think that you're allowed this? Why do you think that you can act this way? And for us Leo during this time, it's going to be like, well, prove it. Prove it. And that's what Leos are about a lot of the time. It's like, okay, you can reach for it. You can reach for the stars, and I hope you get them. But you have to prove that you're willing to do the work to get it. If it's just going to be it falling onto my shoulders and me having to lift you up because, that's what you feel you deserve, you're going to have another thing coming to you. So just during this time, especially emotionally, it's going to be like, well, I need this because, and they're going to have a million great reasons, but everybody has a million great reasons why it should be easier for them than it is for everybody else. And that's just not the case in life. It's hard work, it's dedication, it's diligence, it's an openness of spirit, it's community, it's understanding. And that's what we want to see from this person. From this person, it's not going to be like, well, it's just handed to you. No, earn it. And that's going to be a lot of what we say during this time. You have to earn it. And this moves us to our roots. We're looking at our dreams. And we're going to have a blessing come our way because we have the Sun, and we also have the Fool and the Four of Wands. The Sun is happiness, joy, success, prosperity. It's the happiest card in the whole entire tarot deck. There's a sense of celebration, so we can be celebrating with a child, or we could be celebrating like a child. There's this carefreeness about us that we really want to let shine forward, but then we're going to be afraid of letting shine forward. Then we have the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is prosperity, success, bounty. It is looking at our dreams. It's having to choose, having to evaluate what's important. There's something that's hidden from us that we want to incorporate in our lives, and to let our sun, to let our passion, to let ourselves shine forward. And it moves us to the Star. The Star is saying, what are your dreams? What do you wish for? But the Star is also saying that divinity is looking deep within us and saying, this is what you need. It's not what you want. There's going to be a difference, but this is what you need. And it helps us to elevate. It's like, this is your soul's wish. You don't understand that it's your soul's wish yet. And that might sound brazen for spirit to say, or brazen to hear. What spirit means is that a lot of times we think, I want to be super successful and rich. That's my goal. But we don't see why. Why do I want to be that way? Is it so that everybody turns around and where they used to mock me, now they celebrate me? Do we need that? Is that absolutely what we need in our lives? Or is it to have wealth to sustain us, to have prosperity to lead us forward? Is it to have respect from those around us? What is it that our soul longs for? And how is it that we rise? And there's a real sense of wishes, of beauty, of dreams, of power coming forward. And there's a real sense that we're starting to look not only at what is going to be in the here and now, but our long-term goals. This is setting us up for the long term. We're looking for happiness not only just in this moment, but in the days, the weeks, the months, the years to come. And we're willing to make sacrifices during this time so that we can have the happiness in the long term. It's, delayed gratification. And we're looking at the dreams that we kept in the back closet that we say, oh no, I can't bring that out. Or it's so silly that these are even my dreams. And now we're saying, well, why can't I? Why can't I let my dreams be part of my waking world? Why can't I go after what my soul desires, what my heart longs for? And what we're having trouble with is this vampiric energy. And it's especially around money. Now, we might have gone through a very traumatic period with money, with the state of the world that's absolutely, apparent. But there's also a sense of just having a lot of hardships and being overwhelmed with things and feeling like, okay, well, I have to give, but I also can't give too much because everything will fall apart and I don't know where I stand, or, people are pulling me 500,000 different ways. So we are guarding. We're guarding our soul star chakra, located 6 inches above our crown. We're also guarding our crown chakra. So it can be very hard to get new ideas, to get the ideas flowing. We're guarding our solar plexus chakra, also our heart chakra, because if we don't feel so much, and if we don't, embrace our instinctual self, then we don't have to be hurt. We're guarding our earth star chakra. And the earth star chakra is located 6 inches below our feet. So we're saying the energy from the earth can't come into me. I'm good just as I am. And the fact of the matter is that we need that energy to come through us, to almost recycle us. And that's part of what we need to be focusing on during this time, and part of the sensitiveness during this time, that the earth star chakra rejuvenating us, bringing that energy forward, connecting us with nature, connecting us with our passions and our desires, is going to be a key component in saying, I'm not being pushed around anymore. I'm not being the odd man out. I'm not being let go of. And it moves us then to justice. It moves us to a sense of discernment. So justice isn't just the white page, the black print, everything being super clear. This is the letter of the law. That's how it has to be. Justice is what is just for me. And what is just for me may not be just for you. So it's discerning. It's being discerning. It's saying, this energy, I can't have it around me anymore. This way of being, I can't keep it up anymore. And I don't want to. And it's finding the path forward. It's finding the fit for us. So at work, we might be expecting everybody else to be just. Like all of a sudden, I'm going to have this big win. Everybody's going to see how valuable I am. But what if we start to shift? And what if we start to say, I see the justice within me. And I'm being discerning. I'm seeing the energy that I want. I'm seeing the people that I want. And I'm seeing the people that I don't. And I'm working towards my goals. And my goals do not include everybody else. And again, that might sound selfish or self-centered or egotistical, but it's not. It's a sense of, determination and pride of intention, and saying, this is where I want to be. So when we move forward in our careers, it's also being just about money. It's like we've had a struggle. This can be, again, generationally. We've always had to struggle. We've worked our way up through poverty, heartbreak, pain, disappointment, despair. We've lost it all and are trying to gain it again, or have gained it again. And the relationship with money, when we have been hurt with it, it becomes more intense because we know the hardship of it. We know the darkness of it. And now it's like, okay, how do I stand on my own 2 feet? How do I not get always sucked down this road of I can't? It's by saying, oh yes, I can. I know my worth and I know my value. This isn't something that happens overnight. This is something that takes time. Because the vampiric energy, it drains us. The vampiric people within our lives, because we're trying to be just to everybody. It's like, I can't hurt anybody's feelings. I must be just to everyone. So the person who sacrifices everything is ourselves. It's like, enough is enough. I need to stand in my power, in my truth, in my being, in my beauty. I need to open up the doors because I'm moving forward, yes, guarding my heart, but also towards what I love. And towards what I love is this sense of adventure, the sense of new opportunities, the sense of why not? And it doesn't mean that I have to open up the doors and say, okay, I'm going to try something radically new right now. It can be or a radically new career. It can be that we start doing something as a hobby that pushes us out of our comfort zone and that we really start to love. For me, Spirit is just showing me rock climbing. I started rock climbing and I thought, this is insane. I'm afraid of heights. What do you mean? Let go and fall, to the ground. But it was exhilarating. And it was thrilling, and it was terrifying, and it was something that pushed me further and made me braver. And so here, it's going to be that sense of, how do I embrace my braveness? How do I challenge myself? Wim Hof says, we're never put out of our comfort zone. Like, we're always so comfortable. Even when we're out of our comfort zone, we're still safe. We're still secure. We're not doing anything that truly terrifies us. What if we started? And it doesn't mean that we run into danger. What it means is we start pushing ourselves and saying, well, let's give it a shot. Let's see what happens if I start, running a mile, or let's see what happens if I just start walking on the treadmill and go, or if I go for a walk in the neighborhood. Let's see what happens, as I expand my world, as I open myself up in this very vulnerable sense to say, let me see what comes. And our subconscious is going to be guiding us in a very real way. It's going to be like, okay, can you do this? Can you try this? Can you push yourself forward like this? Also, don't jump off the cliff without a plan, without a safety net. And there's going to be this feeling here, especially within our career, that it's time to take a risk. And it doesn't mean that we quit our job and run away and join the circus. What it means is that we start believing in ourselves. We start looking at that side project that becomes so much more, or starts giving us happiness and fulfillment, so that our job could be just to pay the bills. And that's important. Upholding our responsibilities is astoundingly important. But being able to also live our lives and express our souls and feel alive, just not existing. That's what life is all about. And it moves us to then this happiness. And for some of us, we might be deciding to go back to school or to learn something, to kind of open up the doors and not have us stuck in one certain way, like not be this cog in this wheel forever. There's a sense of celebration. There's a sense of new opportunities coming our way, happiness, joy, success, passion, power, insight, beauty. And it's moving us to a place that we hadn't expected. It's moving us in a way that we hadn't expected. And it's opening up our insights and our ideas. And there's going to be a sense here of, I get to celebrate me. I get to be empowered. I get to shine. Because it's been so long, Leo, that we've not shined. We've let other people shine, or we've fought, through the trenches to just exist. But now it's time to shine. And now it's time to embrace that beauty and that grandeur of spirit and self. So let's have this reading defined. Please define the reading for Leo for money and career. Please define the reading for Leo for money and career. Please define the reading for Leo for money and career. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Ooh, this one right here. The Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is interesting because the swords are interesting. They're the only weapon within the tarot. And I know if you're part of this family, you know this. You're like, Dane, I know they're the only weapon. But there's a point to that. And it's not only the point of the sword. It is the point of the fierceness and the time and the effort and the skill it takes to embrace the weapon, to embrace the sword. The fact that it was only used by nobility. Historically, a sword was only used by nobility. A peasant could be killed for having a sword. So here there is a sense of empowerment. There is a sense of nobility of spirit and of self, of ideas, of understanding. And as a page, as representative of a child, but also representative of a learner. Like you were a page, then you were a squire, and then you became a knight in the system of knighthood. You're learning, you're seeing, you're gaining an understanding, you're gaining insights, you're seeing things differently than you have before. You're pushing boundaries and you're pushing limits and you're pushing yourself. You're gathering information. A lot of pages were also runners, or you became a runner first and then you became a page. So you had to run those long distances to carry notes or to carry verbal messages to the person who needed to hear them. And didn't they say that when Athens fell, the only person who remained from Athens was the runner who sent for help from Sparta, but Sparta said, let them fall. And so here, it's like it's the one person left standing, and it's the one who will grow with the ideas and the information for the longest period of time. So there's a need here to define all of this. It's like open our minds to, yes, the wonders that we may see, but also to the hardships that we have known, and the fact that we are constantly growing, constantly gaining understanding, constantly pushing our boundaries, constantly looking at things in a new way, and that we're taking the information in, and it's forming us. This is a time where we can learn almost anything. This is a time where we feel more empowered. There's a sense here of not being as hardened as we can be as knights or as kings or as queens. The page is the blank slate, that can be formed. And we're taking that blank slate moment and we're forming it, we're constructing it, we're building ourselves. And it's focusing on our dreams. It's focusing on our desires. It does not mean that gets to be our career, but it also means that we start to look at ourselves instead of saying, oh, well, I'm not the CEO of a company, or, oh, well, I'm not a brilliant mathematician. I don't have any talents, or I'm not a, famous singer. I don't have any talents. It's like, no, our talents are important. And we all have talents. But it can be that I'm a fantastic listener. Our world is filled with obnoxious talkers. Whatever happened to being a fantastic listener? A person who's able to connect and to just listen to spirit, to the people around us, to ourselves. That makes us very inviting people. What about being kind? In a world where everybody's shouting about everything and outraged about everything, what about being kind and comforting and loving? Isn't that a talent? But because these aren't high earning talents, which is what our world defines everything as, you don't have a talent unless it's a high earning, high performing talent, then, what nonsense is that? This is the beauty of ourselves coming forward. And this is being able to realize that I do have talents and I can see where they fit in this world, or how I want to use them, how I want to move myself forward. And it brings us to our spirit animal message. Leo, money and career. Leo, money and career. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. The snake spirit, it's time to heal. It is. From the vampiric energy, from the anger, from the upset, from the upheaval, from the trauma that we have lived through, it's time to heal. And it's time to shed an old skin. We're going to see ourselves rejuvenated, revitalized, redefined in some really big ways. And it helps us in money and career. But we also have to remember the vampiric energy of money. This is going to be a time where, yes, saving is good, hoarding, bad. This is going to be a time where we're looking at things and we're starting to see the intrinsic value of us, not the poison that other people, put into us. Our subconscious spirit animal message is the electric eel spirit. Bring your ideas to life. It's time to illuminate ourselves. Let ourselves shine. The thing with the sun, and the thing that happens with the sun, when we shine, and this is intrinsically at our roots, we're shining. People try to bring us down because they think, wow, if you're shining, I can't shine. If you're happy, I can't be happy. Well, that's like a 3-year-old's way of thinking. So, or a 5-year-old's. Here, it's like everybody can shine. There can be beauty and there can be brilliance to everyone. And so don't let them take away the glory of your being. Don't let them drag you down, because they will want to. It's time to bring your ideas to life. It's time to have the faith in ourselves that time can sometimes erode. Our subconscious chakra message is the inner child, the heart chakra, connecting with our inner child, connecting with what we love, with what we want, with the inner child of ideas, because we have the page of the swords, defining all of this, the sense of what is it that I dreamt of when I was little? What is it that I desire? Where is it that I want to be? I'm opening up my heart chakra. I'm seeing myself be able to express my life, my goals, my glory, my greater understanding. And this is also being the adult that we are today, visualizing, holding our arms open to the child that we were, and hugging that child close to us. If when we were little, we didn't like to be hugged, it can be offering out a hand, or, a card with a comforting note or something like that, or sharing a teddy bear or something, where it's just like you're loved, and telling them you're loved, you're safe, you're secure. I will always listen to you, and I will always respect you. Because a lot of times as we grow, and especially if we had trauma when we were little, we don't like who we once were. Or we think, oh, well, that's just over and done with. We don't try to heal. And a lot is healed. A lot of beauty comes from being able to connect with who we once were, with the start of our journey, not just where we are right now. Beginnings are important. It leads us to our subconscious person message. Well, energy message. And this is the temperance energy, okay? Sagittarius energy, November 22nd to December 21st. What's right for one person is not going to be right for another. And trying to be what other people expect us to be. And not saying, but this is me. Like, this is how I am. This is who I am. That's going to be something that's important to realize here. Because we have to let the individuality shine. And we have to embrace our own ideas and our own revelations. So if somebody's like, it has to be like this, it's like, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. This is a time where we start being bolder in the sense of, but it gets to be me. It gets to be me, and this gets to be my brilliance. It moves us to the subconscious of the definition of this reading, which is the King of Swords. We have the Page of Swords turning into the King of Swords subconsciously. Subconsciously, we know we're ready for more. Consciously, right now, we're a student. We're learning. We're gathering everything up. Because the King of Swords, he's the warrior king. He's the king that doesn't play. He's the one who's like, this is what I want. This is what I need. This is where I'm going. End of discussion. It can be that we're also very logical during this time. We want things defined in terms of substance, not in terms of abstraction. So here it's going to be very important to lay things out, to have goals, to have plans, to see things, and to really embrace what we want and where we want to be, and to kind of set out a little bit of a schedule, or just simply goals for ourselves. It leads us then to our subconscious tarot message, which is the Page of Pentacles. This is a time where we start learning of how to increase our wealth, to increase the seeds of prosperity within us, what we value as much as money coming forward. This is a time, this is Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This is a time where we start to really look at what's intrinsically important. And again, a childlike mentality, a sense of learning and wonderment. It's kind of like, as I say, you never learn as much as you do between the ages of like 0 and 5. And so this is a time where we're learning, we're understanding, we're building that. We're building that foundation for the rest of our lives. And we're taking it all in profoundly and purposefully. But this is going to be a time, there's going to be ideas here that start to come. I would suggest, like, writing them down on your phone or keeping a notepad. There are ideas that come that will start making money, that will start building into something more. And it doesn't have to be a lot of money. It could be an Etsy shop, that you open on the side, and that gives you great joy, even if you just sell one thing. It starts to open up the opportunities. And it's like, wow. And then once we have one win under our belt, it makes us braver, it makes us bolder. It's like, oh, I can do this, or I can do that, and I can push this way. So it really is quite extraordinary. Okay. All right, Leo. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we let the sun shine. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Leo.